You'd think that after a while, these woke imbeciles would learn their true place. They've infiltrated the highest positions in the entertainment industry on the back of a series of lies and subversions. The biggest lie of all is particularly infuriating, the lie that their wokeness is actually popular.
I'm retarded?
Yeah, I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Alright, go ahead.
Yep.
That's it, yeah.
As I've covered many times in the past, the popular comic books in America are not actually American because American companies aren't smart enough to keep their politics out of it. They've conceded that ground to the Japanese, who are all too happy to sell their manga to people who want to read a story without wokeness in it. This is why manga is at the top of the best-selling charts for comic books these days. The same phenomenon is taking place in movies, though there doesn't seem to be a viable alternative to Hollywood. However, I suspect that will one day change. The beauty of capitalism is that vacuums are always filled, and Hollywood has indeed left a vacuum. In the realm of movies, we've seen Hollywood's constant attempts at injecting wokeness into pop culture, and we've seen constant failure. Movies like Terminator Dark Fate, Ghostbusters 2016, and Charlie's Angels were sad attempts to package identitarian crap into popular franchises, pushing women into the lead roles of those films in non-organic ways. They were completely forced, like a constipated fart.
Goku, I am so proud.
In general, these movies go over about as well as an onion fart passing through an old man. The most egregious of these movies, at least in the eyes of this old space pirate, is The Last Jedi, mostly because of the anticipation. Star Wars fans like myself waited 30 years to see Luke Skywalker on the screen again, but Lucasfilm decided to shit on him in favor of trying to make all the female characters look badass. The end result was that nobody looked good in that movie.
Here you go.
Well, I'm sorry to say that it seems like Lucasfilm just might be incapable of learning from their mistakes. The article we're reading from today comes from Cosmic Book News. The headline, Star Wars Obi-Wan drops Luke Skywalker for Princess Leia.
It'll work. It'll work.
Don't you ever get tired of being wrong all the time?
Don't misunderstand me. I love and cherish many female characters, and there are many great female characters in Star Wars already, including Princess Leia herself. But Hollywood insists on trying to replace the male characters we already love with their insane, unbelievable, unrelatable creations that nobody cares about. They refuse to stop trying to shove their political agenda in our faces. This is just like the crap that's going on with He-Man being replaced by Teela in Masters of the Universe. It doesn't matter how many times they fail, these troglodytes insist that this time the feminization of an old, beloved franchise will work.
Trust me.
No!
Alright, we're going to take a look at this article to get an idea of what's going on, but before I do, I want to preface this by saying that I really don't want the Obi-Wan show to fail. I love the character, and I want the show to be a great success. However, if the following is correct, it seems like the story of the show might suck under the weight of all that woke baggage. That being said, the following information is rumor, so believe it or not at your own discretion. According to a new rumor, it sounds as if the Disney Plus Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi series has basically dropped Luke Skywalker in favor of having Princess Leia as a focus of the plot of the show. In Star Wars lore, following Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan Kenobi takes the baby Luke to Tatooine to guard over him and becomes the hermit we know from A New Hope, while baby Leia is taken under the care of Senator Bail Organa to Alderaan, where she became the princess. Well, the rumor offers that the young Princess Leia will be the driving force behind the plot of the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and apparently not Luke Skywalker, who Obi-Wan has been charged to protect.
Small chance of success. What are we waiting for?
The news of Disney again ditching Luke shouldn't be all that surprising, as the Obi-Wan series hails from Kathleen Kennedy, who was behind the awful Disney Star Wars movies, and not Jon Favreau, who was responsible for the fan favorite The Mandalorian series and the Luke Skywalker surprise appearance at the end of Season 2. This is what happens when the wokesters who run Hollywood aren't forced to acknowledge the consequences of their decisions. If the entertainment media weren't bought and paid for by companies like Disney, if they were doing their jobs and telling us the truth, then the facts would figuratively crucify Lucasfilm. I mean, despite the fact that Luke Skywalker himself was expected to feature prominently in Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi's box office haul was little better than half the return of its predecessor. That should have been all the evidence these people needed that their woke crap is not popular, at least not with Star Wars fans.
No, anything but that.
Episode 8 was a certain success before it was even filmed. It was always going to make at least $1 billion. It ought to have crossed the $2 billion mark easily, but they failed. People like me, the crazy Star Wars nuts who saw The Force Awakens 5 times in theaters, nearly walked out of the theater when The Last Jedi was playing, and people like me never went back. That is a lot of lost revenue, especially when you consider that I don't go to movies alone. I take the wife and kids, or I go with friends. Now, Lucasfilm tried to course correct a little bit with Rise of Skywalker, but they were only willing to go so far, and it ended up being a muddled, misshapen freak of a movie that displeased everyone. Now, Kathleen Kennedy and her crew seem to be returning to the philosophy that brought us The Last Jedi.
You dumb bastard.
I can't believe I still have to say this in 2021, but people like Luke Skywalker. You absolute brainlets, stop trying to replace him. He is the hero of Star Wars. This should be evident, especially after the reception to the end of Mandalorian Season 2. If you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
Based on Star Wars lore, well-established Star Wars lore, any adventure that Obi-Wan goes on between episodes 3 and 4, well, the impetus has to be Luke Skywalker and not Leia, seeing as how Luke is at least familiar with Obi-Wan when he sees him in A New Hope, indicating that Luke has met him before.
Ben Kenobi? Boy, am I glad to see you.
Leia talks about Obi-Wan in A New Hope as if she knows who he is, but never met him.
General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars.
If, and this is a big if, the Obi-Wan show is going to be successful, Kathleen Kennedy's acolytes are going to have an extremely delicate touch, which I doubt they're capable of, based on everything they've done before. If they aren't careful, not even Jon Favreau will be able to save them from their absolute brainlet carelessness.
Son of a bitch!
Holy shit!
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.